Hi, welcome to Moss Cooking Channels. I'm very exciting to show you how to make my Nab Vam recipe, and also I'm going to show you how to make the sugar syrup and the coconut milk for the Nab Vam. This dessert is very popular overseas, and here's all the equipment that you will need to make the Nab Vam. You will need a big pot for cold water, a fruit meal, or any pot that has hole on the bottom, or you can even use a rice steamer, a non-stick pot, so it will be a lot easier to clean after you are done, a mixing bowl, bowls for all ingredients, the metal strainer, a whisk, a spatula, and a blender. Here's how to set up. You just put a strainer on top of the big pot with the cold water on the bottom, and you just let this sit aside until your Nab Vam is done. Here are the stuff that I use. It's very simple and easy. Now you can chop the pandan leaf into small pieces, and then you have to put in the blender to blend to make the juice. When you put the pandan leaf in the blender, you make sure add 1 cup of water to it. So when it's ready, you can use a little metal strainer, strain the juice out. So now you have the juice. We're gonna mix the juice with the flowers and all the other ingredients. I'm gonna show you how to mix everything together. This is cornstarch, rice flours, coconut milk, pandan juice, now just mix everything together. Make sure it has no lumps. Now you can add food color to the mix. You can do whatever color you like. You can do red, yellow, green, whatever. These are the 2 green color that I use. After you mix and add the color, you have to pour through a strainer. Make sure it has no lumps. When you start mixing, you have to mix. At the beginning, you have to use a whisk to mix until it has no lumps. And after you mix for a little bit, and when it gets thick, you have to change to a wooden spoon. So now you have to cook at least 25 to 30 minutes from the beginning to end. So now it's really shiny and have the bubble, and when you pour through it, it has just keep coming down. So now it's ready. So now when it's ready, you have to bring to a push through a strainer to make so that way it looks like a little worms. If you don't have a good strainer, you can use like any pot that has hole on the bottom. So when you try to push into the cold water, don't push too hard. Gently and control. Depend how long you want the Nab Vam to be. I don't want to be really long, so I don't push too hard. Now it's ready. It looks really good, looks really yummy. So now we are done with the Nab Vam, and I'm gonna show you how to make the coconut milk and the sugar syrup. So I use 1 can of coconut milk and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I just put everything in the pot and turn on the medium heat. Just keep stirring until it's boiling. Now it starts to boil, and you just let it fully boil, and then you can remove. So now it's fully boiled. You can remove from the heat and put in a cool place until it's cooled down. Then you can mix with the Nab Vam. And now I'm going to show you how to make my sugar syrup. I know that everybody have their own way of making the syrup too, but this is how I make my syrup. You need a pot and a spoon, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, half cup of brown sugar, half teaspoon of salt. Now you just put on a medium heat and just put the sugar in. Don't put the water in yet. You're just gonna stir the sugar in the pot until it's melting. Now it starts to melt. You have to stir constantly so it doesn't get burned. So now it looks good, it's ready. You just add the water to it. It's very hot, so be careful, don't burn yourself. Now the sugar's all dissolved. You can add the brown sugar to it. And add the salt. Now you just turn the heat down to low and just let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes until everything's really dissolved. Now it's all done, and we're just gonna have to cool down before we mix. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to mix the Nab Vam. I know a lot of you know how to put the Nab Vam together and mix it, but some people might not know how, because if they haven't done before, they don't know how to mix it together. So now you just scoop a little bit of everything and just mix it together. And here's some of the green Nab Vam, the cendol or chong, and these the red one. And these are cantaloupe. I love cantaloupe in my Nab Vam dessert. If you don't like it, you don't have to put in. You can put pretty much anything you want. These are sugar syrup. Then you're going to grab some ice. Now just mix everything together and it's ready. So now we are done. I'm gonna have my grandson taste it for us to see what he think. I hope he like it, and I hope you really like my recipe. How was it?
Good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.